Welcome back to Afternoon Live. The heat of the summer can bring new pests and disease to the garden. So here to share what you can do to help your plants thrive this season, we welcome back gardening coach Tiffany Garner. Hello, happy summer.
Yay, it's summer, it's here.
The plants they're busy.
The plants are planting.
The plants are planting.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're blooming, they're thriving.
They're blooming, they're thriving. We're going to keep it going.
Tell me about some of the issues that can come up this time of year, though.
Yep, absolutely. So this is when the pests start to make themselves known. So if you have any brassicas in your yard, like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, you might see those little white moths flitting around your garden.
Yeah.
And they're cute, but they're laying eggs. And those eggs hatch into caterpillars and they start munching and crunching.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So what I love is the mesh. I've got some mesh over here. Just very lightweight kind of tool material. You can just drape it over your plants and the bugs can't get to them.
Okay.
The frost cloth that I use all the time for everything, that also can be used as protectant from the moths and whatnot. And also on those hot summer days, if you have some little tender, like if you still have some lettuce in your garden, it might need a little shade on a super hot day.
Do you just kind of cover what you want and leave it out there for however long I guess it takes for that kind of season to pass?
I do. So I'll just lay either the frost cloth or the netting right over there. The netting can stay on full time while the plants are growing.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then watering. Watering is very important this time of year because we're getting hot. And you don't want to waste your water, of course.
Yeah.
So I just put in a drip system in my own garden this year. Seems complicated. Shockingly not.
Oh, good.
And I was able to do everything for under $50.
Oh, okay.
In my whole yard.
And I know you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
So that's a good endorsement.
Yeah.
You can get this done.
Absolutely. Plus, like last year, I found a bunch of stuff at yard sales.
Oh.
Which was really great.
What a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all, in working condition. You don't have to buy something brand new every single time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it looks like there's a lot of bits and bobbles, but it's really not. You have like one main hose that attaches to, your water source. And then you can use this T-tape, which is this nice flat stuff, and it has just little holes in it, and it just slowly drips.
That's cool.
And that way there's no evapotranspiration. The water isn't, in your yard just spraying in the air, evaporating. It goes right directly to the soil. And also you can do a little test to see if you're just using a regular standard watering system or whatever. Put a cup of water out and let the water run until you get a 1/4 inch and set a timer for that. And then you know how long it takes to water a 1/4 inch in your yard.
So we mentioned not wasting water, but what about if you do overwater your plants? What are some things that can happen?
They can actually fail because the oversaturation just doesn't allow enough oxygen in the root zone, and they can kind of go downhill. So mulching is a great way to keep the water in the soil.
Perfect.
And that way, especially if you've got a little drip system, and you can put your mulch right on top of the drip system, so it all just goes right down in there.
There you go.
And also, don't forget your potted plants. They can use a little mulch too, and that way you won't have to water them as much. Just a couple inches of mulch on there. Slugs are going to be at their peak right now. Little stinkers. The Sluggo works great. It's kind of expensive, and OSU, the OSU Extension Program, just did a little experiment, and they have come up with this slug slurry.
I love that.
It's a slug slurry, and it's just flour, water, and yeast. And it's the yeast that really brings the...
Amazing.
Yeah, and then you take your little cup of slug slurry and just sink it into the ground, dig a little hole and sink it into the ground so it's level, and the slugs just come and they just fall in there.
Oh my gosh, you don't have a bunch of extra chemicals in your yard.
Exactly, exactly.
They have such great resources.
I love the OSU Extension. It's fantastic, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's see, and now it is time to harvest your spring crops. Right. So if you've got garlic or onions in, it's time to get those out of the ground.
Look at that guy, holy cow.
Isn't it great? And you can tell your garlic is ready to harvest when it starts losing its last bottom 2 leaves. Bottom 2 leaves will turn brown. You need to stop watering your garlic and your onions this time of year, and they are ready to start
that is so exciting.
Yeah.
And then we can talk about what's next, because we got to get ready for the fall.
Absolutely. So you take all the garlic and onions out. You've got all this great new space. We're going to go in with, it's time for peas. peas, I'm sorry, not peas. Your peas are also coming out of the ground, but beans. Time to put in beans. If you haven't put in your squash yet, time to do squash.
Wow.
And then you can do brassicas again, kale,
Okay.
collards, broccoli. You can do another round of those for the
Man,
winter.
You got to really think ahead.
You do.
I'm not ready for all those food groups right now.
Yeah.
But I do want them in a couple of months.
Exactly. You're going to want them later, so you got to pop them in the ground now. Get them going.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess so. We
know.
can do it. Well, you
Just
make
keep
it
churning.
so easy that we can all get it done.
Yeah.
And no slugs.
And no slugs.
I love that.
Yeah, this is just the best. It's super
doing
easy.
that tonight.
It's practically free.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Always
Great to be
great to
back.
see you. Happy summer.
Happy summer.
Okay, we'll have these tips and more information about Tiffany on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.